volunteers in Paraguay distribute supplies to flood-affected residents in San Alfredo. Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers provide assistance to fire survivors in Sandakan. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In Paraguay, San Alfredo has been flooded after heavy rains. Upon learning of the news, Tzu Chi volunteers have traveled to San Alfredo to conduct disaster assessment and provide hot food. In addition, they've also conducted the first aid distribution. The low-lying San Alfredo has been flooded after heavy rains. Tzu Chi volunteers in Sandakan Estate have traveled for 6 to 7 kilometers to assess the damages. To keep hunger at bay, Tzu Chi volunteers have brought food on the next day.
Para que aquellas personas que todavía, porque pensamos nosotros que las aguas no iban a volver todavía a su cauce, trajimos este aporte de manera que puedan por lo menos almorzar.
It might continue to rain. Before the water recedes, Tzu Chi volunteers have brought this food so everyone can enjoy lunch here. We've brought beans, rice, noodles, vegetables, cooking oil, flour, and bananas for the children. Since Tzu Chi promotes vegetarianism, please eat the vegetarian meal.
Como nuestra fundación es vegetariana.
On the fourth day after the floods, Tzu Chi Sandakan Estate Liaison Office has held a distribution for 50 affected households. Tzu Chi's charity mission spirit has inspired people to do good deeds.
Muchas gracias a la Fundación Taiwanés.
I'm grateful to Tzu Chi for giving me the opportunity to learn to be a volunteer. I am filled with joy. I think the recipients of the aid supplies will go home being very happy. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
I would also like to appreciate Tzu Chi's help. Thank you for everything. May God bless you. May Tzu Chi continue its good work. Thank you.
I want to appreciate your organization. Even a small bread can show your care for us. I deeply appreciate it. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Before the floodwater recedes, Tzu Chi volunteers have reached the affected residents and they will continue to assess the damages. In China, heavy snow has devastated part of Qinghai Province. Since the beginning of winter, most of the local residents are herdsmen, and the disaster had led to the lack of food. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers have conducted aid distributions, benefiting more than 2,000 people.
Early in the morning, the temperature is 25 degrees below zero. This is the aid distribution in Yushu Prefecture. After the severe snowstorm, Tzu Chi is the first NGO to deliver love and care to the local residents. Many of them are grateful for volunteers' help. Most of the residents are herdsmen, although they speak different languages, but with a smile and a bow, volunteers can understand their emotions.
You can find many daily necessities inside this bag. We hope this will help everyone overcome the snow disaster.
Volunteers have distributed samba, flour, black tea, canola oil, sugar, and salt. The two distribution events have helped a total of 2,433 herdsmen. After the snowstorm in 1996, the 74-year-old grandpa had received aid supplies from Tzu Chi. Now 23 years have passed and he never thought that he would receive the supplies again. Calling past memories together, the volunteers also have given the grandpa a book about Tzu Chi and Dharma Master Zheng Yan.
Being able to see the volunteers again after 23 years, all of them feel grateful and happy. After receiving the aid supplies, they will pray and chant sutras every day. They pray for all the Tzu Chi volunteers to have good health as well as joy and peace.
As one can see, the relationship between Tzu Chi volunteers and the herdsmen have become stronger than ever. In the future, this love will continue to be passed down.
Tropical cyclone Idai has swept through Mozambique, Malawi, and Zimbabwe, causing devastating floods. A week has passed, and there are still many people that need help. In Malaysia, Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter staff has gathered to pray for the affected residents. They also donated their coin banks, hoping to help those in need.
The staff of Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter sincerely prays for the flood-affected residents in Eastern Africa. Tropical cyclone Idai swept through 3 countries in Eastern Africa, causing devastation. The local residents are still waiting for help.
Everyone has gathered to pray for the affected residents. The staff members also brought back their bamboo coin banks, hoping to help those in need. We have delivered our most sincere love and blessings. By accumulating the coins, we can help more of them.
The bamboo coin banks are filled with love, and this love will help others in need. The disaster also reminds the staff to be mindful of the possible danger in time of peace.
Dharma Master Zheng Yan once said, "Witnessing sufferings is a type of cultivation. For us, the ones that are more fortunate, we must be content and appreciate what we have right now. We need to cultivate our compassion to sincerely pray for the people in need."
I was deeply touched by today's gathering. We're very lucky to live in Malaysia. As you can see, the people of these countries live in poverty. If a natural disaster strikes, they will lose everything.
In the end, everyone hopes the affected residents can rebuild their homes and overcome the difficulties in front of them as soon as possible.
As we mentioned, 3 countries in Eastern Africa were devastated by Cyclone Idai. DaAi mothers in a training class in Kaohsiung district joined to pray and cultivate kindness for the affected residents. The class also welcomed newly certified volunteers. Let's join them there.
Putting coins in the bamboo coin bank and praying and sending their best wishes is done at this DaAi Mothers training class. They hope to cultivate kindnesses for the Eastern Africa countries that were severely stricken by the cyclone.
There are many disasters in the world. Through our classes, to welcome new members, we want to cultivate love and kindness and spread it. We want everyone to know that we're all very blessed, and we must cherish and cultivate more blessings.
On top of cherishing blessings, they also presented wishes on wish cards, which were put on the tree.
We hope to follow Dharma Master Zheng Yan's teachings and share her goal, so we're making vows in front of the Buddha.
The class reminds these DaAi mothers to cherish and cultivate blessings. Some of them were certified last year, and they seized the chance to give thanks to senior volunteers' companionship. Senior volunteers served tea to give their best wishes. Despite the challenges during the training, these newly certified volunteers have learned much.
I've learned to be softer when being with my family, and I changed my attitude.
These DaAi mothers will go into campuses to promote Jingzi aphorisms. Through their training classes, they've improved themselves and their families.
Trauma caused by domestic violence can last for a long time. It may not just affect the development of one's personality, but may also be transmitted to the next generation. This is done as abuse can affect one's psychology. Therefore, how to end violence involves the victim learning to stand up bravely to protect themselves. In this episode, we learn more about the psychological counseling required to overcome abuse.
This is the story of Daling, who worked hard to graduate and achieve after being subjected to domestic abuse. She's a 60-something who is like many other survivors of abuse.
My father faced 3 major challenges in his life. The first is when he fell seriously ill, and the second was when his factory faced financial crisis, and the third was when he was dying. During each of these 3 things, he needed me and I came back. I showed him that I'm a very experienced, capable, and valuable person. At that time, my father expressed his thanks and apologized to me. I felt some relief from this.
However, the pain from her family still left her needing psychological care.
目前的处境，你想到什么就说什么。
以前我会很心疼的，我会舍不得，我也会跟着他悲伤。可是现在我不会，我只是会觉得很无奈。伤疤就是伤疤，痛。
A scar is a scar, and pain is pain. You can't heal it. People have memories. When you see other people that have been through the same abusive situations, you learn that it will arise again. You can't forget it. This type of scar should not be touched. We just need to let it settle.
According to the psychologist's analysis, victims of domestic violence often develop in one of two ways. The first is that they are likely to copy the cycle of violence, potentially seeking out more vulnerable people or animals, or withdrawing inward. One can also develop negative characteristics such as feelings of inferiority, indifference, alienation, and even self-harm. In these cases, long-term healing is needed.
When they discuss violence and anger, there may be a grave healing effect. They find out that they can live their life, and they can also learn that they will survive and won't become like their parents.
先让自己放松，去了知它，去觉察它，跟好我们的呼吸，跟好我们的腹部。
This Dharma master also has a psychologist's license. He leads a group that is grappling with the subject of domestic violence and healing. He uses a combination of mindfulness, meditation, and family arrangement.
In psychotherapy, I see that some personal issues may be related to the family or the family structure. If these issues are not seen or resolved, these problems will be copied and transmitted from generation to generation. Just how you mentioned that not valuing life is a problem in your family. Can you discuss?
Because my family is here, actually my mother is right here, so I will speak frankly. Doing drugs, domestic abuse, and an unhappy marriage are part of a lifestyle that no one wants. Tracing back the source of the family's pain may be related to their grandfather. He served in the military as the nationalist battled the Communist Party, was responsible for some deaths. The trauma of such an event led the grandfather to be violent to his wife and daughter. I just want to know why he is going to abuse our family, abuse my mother, abuse our sisters. Why are you doing this to us?
To really heal, the first thing is one need to see the situation clearly and be really willing to take responsibility. We also bring in some concepts of mindfulness, the awareness of right thought, and a stronger ability will to detect problems. This lets them know when they are giving birth to these emotions, his body and mind will begin to move and he will not hurt people again.
I have cured myself. My mother has a good relationship with me. I have reconciled with my father. I can give my life and work to the world. I am better for myself. Seeing this real story gives inspiration to others. While the road to healing may be difficult and long, one can take comfort in knowing you are never alone.
A fire broke out in the village of Sandakan, Malaysia. Since most of the houses were built with wood, the fire spread quickly and burned on 39 houses. Therefore, the affected residents can only stay temporarily in a community hall. To help them get through the tough time, Tzu Chi went to assess the damages and provide assistance.
After the fire, everything in the village of Sandakan, Malaysia was in great ruins.
At 5:30 in the morning, 39 houses were burned down. There are still 74 families who do not have a house to live in.
Since most of the houses accommodated more than one family, the 74 affected households can only stay in the community hall temporarily.
According to a family who first found out the fire, the flames were resulted from an electrical short circuit of a washing machine. The items that these affected residents need are kitchen utensils, sleep products, and food, etc.
At first, I did not notice it, but after 10 minutes, I felt hurt. After I took a look, I found my head and arm had already gotten injured.
After Tzu Chi received a list of affected households from the government, they immediately distribute blankets and monetary aid. At the distribution sites, volunteers invited the residents to pray together, moving many people. Most of the houses in the village were built with wood. Every time a fire takes place, it would often spread rapidly, bringing great damage to many residents. Tzu Chi comforts affected residents by giving them companionship and care on their way to rebuild their homes.
In early March, Tzu Chi medical team from overseas conducted a 3-day large-scale free clinic in Qinghai Province in Cambodia. Recently, Cambodia volunteers have continued to care for several patients who were referred to the larger hospital in Phnom Penh. Volunteers have also delivered the prescribed eyeglasses to the patients in need.
Volunteers are checking the roster to confirm that all the local residents in need of eye surgeries are here in the hospital. At the beginning of March, Cambodia volunteers hosted a free clinic in Qinghai Province. There were about 26 patients who registered for a referral at the eye clinic.
They are all farm workers from remote villages and they live an impoverished life. Tzu Chi is referring them to the hospital in Phnom Penh.
Most of the referred patients have never seen doctors in a large-scale hospital, so they felt anxious. Volunteers have been by their side to comfort them.
I went to the free clinic because of blurred vision. I thought I couldn't be healed, but you have helped me to transfer to another hospital for surgery. Now I can see bright and clear. I'm grateful to you all.
I'm very happy and I thank Tzu Chi and the volunteers who have been accompanying us. I wish everyone peace and sound.
I'm glad that now I can see like normal people with my eyes.
Other than helping the cataract patients to undergo surgery, volunteers also send their care into the Prey Kabas district. Residents here have been waiting for their prescribed eyeglasses for 3 weeks. They can't wait to see the world clearly again.
Before everything seems blurry to me, but now with the glasses, I can see very clearly, thanks to Tzu Chi and the doctors.
When you can see clearly, you feel joyful naturally. The feeling is wonderful.
After distributing eyeglasses, volunteers also conduct home visits to send their love and care. The gifts represent their best wishes to local residents.
Brazil Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for Osasco City for 7 years. Tzu Chi's dedication has won the recognition of the local government and the public. With the city council's approval, the mayor has announced that March 16th of every year is Tzu Chi Day, a tradition that started in 2014.
In total, Tzu Chi has provided over 20 years of care to various cities. Tzu Chi volunteers have conducted free clinics in Osasco City for 7 years consecutively. Each time they pick a different community and school so that every resident can have a chance to check on their health.
I'm here to devote my medical knowledge to serve these patients. They are in pain, and if we can heal their pain, they will feel much better.
In addition to doctors giving treatments, Tzu Chi volunteers and nursing school students also join to serve. Marcio, who has joined Tzu Chi since 2013, has been nourished spiritually when helping others in need.
When I see the smiles on the people we helped and the smiles on volunteers when helping others, I can't describe how touched I feel in my heart. I can only thank Tzu Chi from the bottom of my heart.
Most patients only get to see doctors once in many years. Volunteers' selfless devotion has brought them the deepest comfort.
Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters held an Achievement Day for the volunteers with the theme of remembering that year. They look back at the 30-year history of Tzu Chi USA. The volunteers have been deeply touched and vowed to continue to carry out Tzu Chi's work. Let's take a look.
The achievement class looks back at the 30-year history of Tzu Chi USA, which includes all kinds of large and small disasters. Senior Tzu Chi volunteers took the stage, sharing everything to the audiences.
What have we learned from the 911? I learned that we should be more active to walk inside the crowds and introduce Buddhism to the public, hoping to inspire their compassion giving, more importantly, to change their mindsets.
After Hurricane Katrina, U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers were mobilized to dive into relief work. Back then, they had faced many challenges.
After the DaAi mobile clinic van arrived, we thought that we could hold free clinics, but then we found out the medical license from other states couldn't be used there. We were very anxious to help the people, but we couldn't do it.
The volunteers want everyone to remember these major disasters and realize their implications.
I want to raise love and money. I want to be a Tzu Chi volunteer forever. It's Tzu Chi that made me want to give back to others. I'm proud to be a Tzu Chi volunteer.
99 participants have attended this achievement camp at the Tzu Chi USA headquarters. They have shared moments that touch them. This is a motivation for them to continue to do Tzu Chi work.
The Taichung World Flora Expo will conclude in less than a month. The number of visitors to the humanitarian ecotech pavilion has been record-breaking. To attract more people's attention, volunteers even sing songs about the environment to promote recycling.
The familiar rhythm accompanied by environmental lyrics makes it more meaningful. Miss Zheng from Tanzi loves opera. Upon seeing that volunteers at the humanitarian ecotech pavilion are very talented, she was given a chance to showcase her expertise.
She was surprised to see the words that the volunteer used were very beautiful, so Ya-Wen decided to compose a song. When she sang it, the volunteers also followed and sang in harmony.
Singing is better than speaking because music can beautify people's hearts.
The joyful atmosphere is full of laughter, livening up the pavilion.
To care for community seniors, Sandakan DaAi Village has established a health station. In the event, city volunteers play games with the seniors and also provide healthy vegetarian lunches. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.